You guys, he can't help himself. He was like a little wee little lad with Diddy, okay? So he's gonna say some really crappy things. And then this is why people hate the Nepo baby, but it's never really the Nepo baby's fault. But this is kind of a moment, kind of a moment where you're just like, it's a good time to shut the F up, dude. Just shut the F up. You're insufferable. Shut the F up. So this is what he says, okay? Apparently my algorithm really thinks I'm interested in him. Just because I do a story on him, it's like, oh, we're going to show you everything he says 24/7. I'm like, thanks, because I'm going to make a comment. Justin Bieber blasts the audacity of telling other humans they deserve something. Ah, coming from a white boy, from a white man, from a white man's going. He's going to tell us. He's going to tell us. Okay, so the post comes days after Hailey Bieber announced her company, Rhode, was acquired by Elf Cosmetics. Okay, so yeah, there was some nonsense, and I don't even care. So, but yeah, apparently something, something. So, and then Justin was being ultra crappy with comments, and it's always men that does that and degrades us. And I wouldn't say with the man that would say anything like that anyway, but that's Okay, so they keep saying he shares these cryptic posts on social media. On Tuesday, June 3rd, today, the pop star shared an Instagram post blasting the audacity of telling other humans they deserve something. Wow, white boy, you don't deserve even attention, so I don't know. But apparently, God is giving them everything. That's why they're so shitty to everybody. But because they think like this, it's very scrambled. But let's see. Telling other humans they deserve something is like raising someone else's kids. Oh, such as slavery. Like I was over here going, God, they really deserve, something from the past that made them like not homeowners. And yeah, I don't know, just like a number of situations that's going on in my head, like just a million things. Women that men decided that they deserve nothing and no power. Oh, the white man that did that for God. Oh, okay, yeah. So the post, which appeared on a purple backdrop. What? So I just did a post, you guys, about the color purple, and I'm talking about religion. And yeah, I can get under any of these guys' skin, mostly when I'm totally talking about him. He needs a little smackdown. Not physically, but you know what I mean, verbally. He needs to be just sat down. He didn't have any proper adult guidance coming up, and he doesn't see the problem with himself. And he's a total ultra Jesus pea drinker juice dude. So, okay, yeah. So anything I say is really going to rub him the wrong way. I don't know. But yes, I was talking about Prince and the religion and how all these guys, Diddy, Prince, Michael, and everything, how they're a cluster F, and they had religion up the yin yang. So it wasn't like they were away from religion. They were practicing, at least, in their childhood there. And a lot of their problems actually come from that right there. And they don't want to see it. And Justin, you too. I was like, you too. You're proving my point, like beyond you are, honey. Okay, so let's go here. And I'm the one, what's funny about this is that originally, the whole population is like trashing him as a kid, right? Everybody thinks it's funny, all these things. And like out of the blue, like it hits me like, I'm like, this is really a kid, you guys. He's going to end up being a hot mess growing up. And he is, see? And I was starting to talk about it. And then like nobody cared, like literally. And everybody's like touching him and sexualizing him as a little boy. And it became a very normal thing. I don't know why this becomes normal with the crazy population, but it was just sort of like this moment. And I was reminded of, some other pop stars that, we used to be fans of growing up, and some we weren't fans of, but I ended up, I worked with the one, and I was like thinking about all this stuff, and I was like, oh, he's on his way there, and it's going to be really bad. And then at some point, some people reached out to him, but he's just too much of a hot mess, okay? He's just, it's on him. At the end of the day, it's on him. And he can't get the God out of his behind. Okay, so and him saying this is so offensive, actually, but he doesn't see it because he has him up the yin yang, right? So he goes like this. Who are you to tell someone someone should or shouldn't have? Okay, so he added Justin 31. Okay, he's 31 now, okay? He's now at that ripe age where, like, they go way off kilter, like, if they're already off kilter, that type of thing. So he's like, the audacity. Oh, that's not your place. God decides what we deserve. Okay, so this is where it leads into, okay, when bad things happen to people, that must mean that God is punishing them. It starts going into this. You could see where it is, like the thinking. And I'm reading it and I'm like, what a a-hole. What a total a-hole. But it comes from that. It comes from the religion. So that's where he's coming from. He's thinking of himself. Apparently in his mind, he thinks that God is blessing him to be this famous, like, little pop star. That's his mindset about it. And it's so entitled, right? It's just the thing about it where he's putting that now on an external thing, that he's much more special. And that's how you get like a Michael Sweet saying, God bless me with the Ferrari. Oh, that was just too much. That was too much for me. I've never talked like that. For some reason, these men, and I think that the difference thing is because the religion teaches them like this whole other thing. And their narcissism, as you can see, I mean, come on. Right here is not so much in the women where they're like, I mean, they might say things like this, but you're not running around like, God blessed me with $1 million today in my freaking bank account. You know what I mean? I deserve it. God thinks I'm special. There's something wrong with you because God didn't give it to you and gave it to me. It starts going here. As it would, because there's nothing sane about it. Okay, so let's read this whole thing. Telling other humans they deserve something. Why does this always come out of rich guys, though? This statement has come out of so many rich men, and then it's always out of some guy that has everything, right? It's just some crappy ass thing, and their kids come out insufferable, okay? And then he brings up kids. It's really interesting. It's like raising someone else's kids. Have you been raising yours well? I mean, you're out here smoking pot in the public. I mean, I don't really think that is proper, mostly for kids to see your daddy being a drug addict. Usually they take kids away. Usually. And you were around a big time drug addict, Diddy. So to you, that's very normal, right? Normal. That's not normal. My daddy drank. That's actually not normal, what we were seeing growing up. We don't want to repeat that kind of thing. You're being a bad dad. So I can't talk about his wife. Maybe she's a good mom, but she has to put up with 2 children. Okay, so who are you to tell someone what someone should or shouldn't have? That statement alone, I would say, yeah, I mean, really, white men, who are you to tell us women? But you know what I mean? Like, you could go on this thing. If I was a woman of color or a man of color, then I would be like, yeah, white boy, who are you to say that I can't drink out of your same fountain? Okay, so it would be something like that. It's just offensive. Like, if you think about this in a lot of different ways and back history and, you know, like the Indians, you know, they deserve certain things, and LGBTQ deserves certain, you know what I mean? There's like groups of people that deserve some certain thing here because of the white man thinks he's God because he's told to act like he's God and think he's God, and you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay, so the audacity. This is what he's stewing around about. You know what I mean? If I was rich like this is the last thing I'm going to be stewing around about. My ass is going to be doing wonderful things for everybody, and I'm not going to be talking down to people that have less than me like this. The people that I talk about are the people that, like him, that have everything. That's such a total D word. It's like a total dick. It's a total dick. Like, we need to, like, censor that. Okay, wait. That's not your place. Well, you're telling us right now, shut up. I was like, God decides what we deserve. See, the end of this just went straight to hell in a handbasket. It's like, it's just too much. You cannot have a conversation. He's that annoying guy that you could not have a conversation with because he'll keep trying to argue with you with the Bible. And you could literally, because I had the study thing, like just debate him all day. And then no matter what you say, he's going to just tune it out and keep going back to just bullshit. And then you just want to shut him up. And then you just want to agree with them. You don't even want to bring up any other thing that's controversial because you know they won't shut up. Yeah. And so now he throws that out there. So, you can't even have a good therapist session with this guy because he's going to keep saying crazy stuff like that out of a book. It's like, really, dude? Is that where you got it from? I don't know. But that's male supremacy. Just by the way, I'm just pointing it out. That's just facts are facts. So I don't know. But he's going to tell us because he's the white boy that thinks he was sent here from God to be the leader of all women. Okay. And he's really not at home. But wait. Well, it was unclear what the sorry hit maker was referring to. I don't know, Purple Rain? Some users appeared concerned by his post. As you should be. As you should be. I'm really good. I'm really good at reading these guys. But I'm saying when I do, they get really mad. Instead of like looking at it, you think, oh, he's this really nice guy. He's actually not. That's a fakeness. That's a fakeness in the public. He's put out there like all the other Disney characters, they're wholesome, sweet, whatever. That's all garbage. This guy is such a little brat that I was even showing some other people about him. They're like, what a brat, this whole thing. And yeah, he's come to heads with some other adults too. And because he's so just the word insufferable. Like you listen to him talk, you're just like, ugh. And then he says evil things, like him talking about saying to his wife that she's never going to be this or that or anything tells you the level of a dick that he is. And men think that's totally normal and fine, and they just disregard it. And I'm reading it going, what a total dickwad. I mean, honest to God, who would say that? Well, when we get mad, we say things like that. I've never said anything like that. I've never said, you're never going to be anything, man. You're never going to be anything in life, to like my partners or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just that you might say it to some evil, but I don't even recall saying anything like that. Other than, people that are bullying me or something. I'm like, yeah, watch. And then at the end of the day, they end up being a Justin Bieber and you're just like, life really sucks. And you're telling me God decided that to be a shitty person to somebody and still be successful? No. I was like, nah. I was like, that is not what's going on, dude. Okay. I just don't like the thought of that because there's so many people. See, my brain, I know too much information. So my brain is like, I'm here having a problem, right? My brain will literally go to someone in Uganda and they're suffering from the hands of stupid men and then they die, right? And it's like, do I think that God so they deserve that? Because no, like I'm putting myself like in this position thinking about it globally. Like that's just my brain. Like I'm thinking about the people suffering in other countries and how horrible that is that nobody's there to like stop it. And these people are doing it in the name of a God. And then people are suffering and dying because of these idiot men. And they don't deserve it. But what he's saying is God decides what we deserve. Okay, well, you think they deserve that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where you're just breaking it down. And he's in this little bubble universe where he just thinks of himself because he's self-centered. And that's what differentiates me from these jerks. I mean, we could all be a jerk, but this really does differentiate me from all these a-holes up in here. Because I am thinking of other people. In fact, I think about other people more than I should than myself. So I do have a little bit of a problem sometimes that overly thinking about other people. But but that's good. I would rather be there than this idiot right here. So Justin is a person that you wouldn't want in a position of power because he is going to harm people, and his viewpoint is very scrambled and it's not based in reality, and he's a hot mess. He's a hot mess. Just imagine being around Diddy 24/7 as a kid, or just being around that at all. And have you heard him talk? Diddy? Oh God. That's what I was saying. I go, even with Paris being around him in her mouth, I go, no, Diddy, that's a bad influence. Like, you'll pick it up because it just becomes his thing. And the way his brain operates is not healthy. It's not normal. And a kid picking that up, they start thinking it's normal. And then everybody around them is acting the same way. It's not normal, you guys. That's what's wrong. It's not so much that, oh, they're celebrities. It's the fact that they're just power hungry monsters that run over everybody, and they're just bad people. They're just downright bad people. They present themselves as good people, that they'll throw out God, I go to church, and all this stuff, but deep down Justin's a bad person. I was like, deep down he's a bad person. He's not the good person. He's striving. His problem is, because he overcompensates, he's trying to be a good person, and he's not making it. That's just what it is. And the book thing is not going to help him at all. It's just making him a worse person. But you should care about other people regardless of anything you believe in. But he doesn't have that in him. It's like a forceful thing. Even though there's people out here saying he's so nice, he's this and that. It's like, this is the front, honey. That's a front. You're seeing it, the cracks. I was saying the cracks in the windshield. Somebody was like, what does that mean? Cracks in the windshield. I was like, it's just a figure of speech. It's like, you're driving, you have this protection thing, and then all of a sudden, a rock hits the window and the cracks, and then you see the cracks, and they're not protecting anymore. It's just a figure of speech. It's anyway, but yeah, somebody's like, what does that mean? I'm assuming that person's a lot younger though than me too, but I don't know. I come up with different sayings, and not everybody's in my head. So that's just where that went. So one user encouraged Justin to take a social media break. Yeah, so it's not just me like pointing out like, wow, that's pretty evil. Like, there's something wrong with that, right? Because what the hell? Like, what the hell? And then they're worried that he's crashing out again. I don't think he ever got out of the crash. I think we're just watching. I think we just left the crime scene. Like, everybody, the car crashed out and it just stayed there. And we're just passing by. We're continually passing by. And the car's flipped over and then Justin's in it. Yeah, I kind of like that. So others responded to the stay artist in lukewarm fashion, telling him to grow up. Like, they're trying to be nice. Don't be fake. No need to be nice. Okay, and saying that his apparent lack of celebration for Haley over the Vogue cover is hypocritical. You know what? A lot of times with these men, believe it or not, they get very jealous of women. Very jealous of women. And she's, would you consider that very successful, right? Whatever happened there for the nepo baby? For the nepo baby. But regardless, jealousy. And that his wife, whom he married in 2018 before celebrating with the star-studded wedding in 2019, shares son Jack, and this deserves better. Yeah, they keep saying that he deserves a better parent. Isn't that interesting? This is his fans. He's not going to get it from me. It's not like I'm like, God, I hate Justin Bieber. It's like I had a lot of more motherly thinking about him, I think, at a point when he was really young. And then now it's just like, as a human, because I don't listen to Baby, you know what I mean? But they deserve a good dad. Okay, so Justin post comes days after Haley, 28, announced that her beauty brand, Rose, was acquired by Ulfa for $1 billion. At the time, he screenshotted her announcement and added to a carousel. However, he didn't comment on it. Before celebrating his wife's first ever Vogue cover last month, Justin shared images from the shoot with a caption revealing he once told Haley she would never be on the cover of Vogue. That right there. I'm telling you, what woman out here with any, self-respect would be with some guy that even said something like that? Because you're chronically going to be in this thing. He said it in the first place, so he's thinking in a way. And you're going to see the evil of Justin in those types of things right there. And it's nothing to disregard as somebody saying something they regret or something. He said it and it came out of a real place. And because he believes in that God bullshit, women technically are supposed to be at home taking care of the kids, you know, according to all that, and not doing all this stuff. And for him, it's taking away, he thinks in his mind, it's taking away his manhood. Like, there's a whole thing to it. That's why he's such a hot mess. But, and she might be running with some, I mean, you would almost have to even suffer alongside of this. I can't imagine him as my husband, because holy crap, we would not be getting along 24/7. Him going on, go this, go that. I'd be like, shut that. I would have to drag him to I would drive him to a therapist's office and he wouldn't get out. Yo, this reminds me when Haley and I got in a huge fight on May 20. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. No, you're such a dick, dude. That's your real person right there. The crack in the windshield. That's the meaning of that. It's like his fakeness. It's just like, psh, there it is. Like, yeah. Look at this. Okay, so at the end of the post, he apologized, Haley saying, so, baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover because clearly I was sadly mistaken. Yo, he really believed that, too. What a jerk, right? That's really him. But she put up with it. She got there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. Okay, so later Justin deleted the caption and added a series of emojis because he's such a dick. Okay, so in the Vogue story, the yummy musician praised his wife, saying, I've done a lot of dumb things in my life, as you still are, but the smartest thing I've ever done was marry Haley. Oh, that's sad. You know what? She might come back on this and go, this is the dumbest thing I ever did. I'm marrying this dude. Oh boy. Justin also addresses the online criticism she has faced. Okay, now this is where it gets nepo hell. Okay, dude. Nepo hell. She's in the spotlight. Would that be because she's a Baldwin? And has the attention because of her effortless knack for style. Actually, that's not why she was in the spotlight for so long. This is where nepo baby term. I know, like, one of the people here said they never even heard of the term. I've chronically see it in males, like a Justin Bieber, like they come out kind of like that. But, and she's actually not saying, I haven't really read anything on her. I haven't seen anything that's highly controversial that she said yet. I mean, we'd have to go through it. But it's him making her insufferable by this comment. So she's in the spotlight and has the attention because of her effortless knack for style, business, art, and fashion. Okay, he said that adding that she makes being a mom and wife look easy. And you know what? And we're not laughing or knocking that she doesn't know something. It's just the fact that she comes from a very wealthy celebrity family where she already had the attention from everybody. She's in business ties, just generally, with everybody in this industry, and very easily because of who she is. And she's going to get more attention because of her name. And some nobody that's in a corner somewhere could be more talented than her that is not going to get that same attention. Because again, what are they looking for? This also happened with Elon Musk, now daughter, where that's a nepo baby, no matter how you want to spin it. And it's not like they did something that nobody else has been doing. The attention is on them because just for the sake of that's Elon's daughter. And it's a transgender. But there's a million transgenders out here, right? That would be out here speaking up. But they turn them into an icon just because of the mere sake that they are related to Elon Musk. So that's a nepo baby. So again, it's not really the nepo baby's fault, right? It's like the public. You got a couple things. You have the business and the public being a part of that problem, but mainly the business, because the business is the one that comes up and goes, you know what? Do you want to do this whole like centerfold thing and do this thing and all that? And you know, and of course they're like, wow, it's a big, thing, blah, 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 and they're going to do it. But that's that. That opportunity is not going to be given to any random transgender. So you got specialty things going on right there, just for the fact that you're related to somebody already in the business, somebody that's already famous, somebody that already has money, somebody that's already a celebrity. And some of these kids struggle with that too, where they don't want to even have that with them in tie, but just don't be insufferable like this. But it's not Haley saying it. It's Justin saying it for her. And it's just like, shut the F up, dude. So Justin's latest social media post also comes amid growing concerns over his mental health, following several vulnerable social media posts from the singer. Recent Instagrams have included messages about his anger issues. Okay, yeah. So I'm all about, here's my thing over here. And because of therapy. So I'm about like expressing your feelings, even if it's angry, even if it's sad, even if it's these things. But Jesus Christ, like some of the stuff he's been saying is it's just off kilter. It's not even, I don't know. It has to do with God stuff, and that's, he needs to go in there and separate that. He has religious abuse in his thing, I told you. And so this is a long road, you guys. Long road. Having nothing. Okay, so having nothing to prove, feeling unworthy. Yeah, okay. So why is he okay. Recent Instagrams have included about his anger issues, nothing to prove, feeling unworthy. A cryptic post about letting go of hate by first acknowledging it's there. Well, it's not even like letting go of hate. It's just kind of like you go through it. It's like, I hate these things. And it's like, how do we, I have to sit with the people that I hate. Like, it's never going to change that I hate these people, or I hate this thing, or hate this, other thing. But it's just like trying to move through that. It's always going to be there, more than likely. I was like, more than likely, it's always going to be there. It's part of life, right? You're going to hate somebody. You're going to hate things. You're going to hate, and you should. Many times you should. Like, you shouldn't be fine with like a Hitler, right? You should hate it. But then there's people that like it, and there's a problem. But why do they like it, right? Oh, because religion stuff. Okay, so we went through this whole thing. Again, it's a deep topic as to why things catapult to these other places, and it's typically with men. And you're seeing it. So men have the biggest mental health issues on the planet Earth, and they're the ones that do the most violent crimes across the globe. Why would that be? That's not by nature, honey. That's because you got some screwball thinking. A source close to Bieber told People in April that Haley is not on the verge of wanting a divorce or leaving him. It's just completely untrue. Why would this even be out there in the public, though? It doesn't even make any sense that we're just going to say they're having a thing out. It just doesn't make sense. None whatsoever. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. You guys losing your J without knowing what Justin Bieber's doing? Not I. Purple rain. They added, if anything, she's sad about how hard everyone is being on him, and now he's finally is coming back out of this out of a shell. That's ridiculous. However, a second source close to Justin pointed a different picture of their lives. She's been in tears about his behavior lately. I believe that one. I believe that one. And you know what? And then she has a kid, right? And a lot of times, like, when women get in these relationships and then they get a kid, then it's just like 10 times harder to get rid of the dude. It makes it harder. So it's like you have a kid now, and it's like you don't want to make a knee-jerk reaction and just leave. And then like the kid, that's their dad now, no matter what. And yeah. And then she's not being overly public about it, right? I haven't seen her, I don't know, I just haven't seen her saying anything. And it's like, would you really want to blast that? I mean, I would have no problem blasting it, but most people don't. So, like, she keeps it in private. So that it's like, can you suffer with Justin? If your fans can't suffer with you, then definitely she has to be having some type of problem. I mean, it's like, you're telling her she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Like I said, that's a little insight. That's the crack in the windshield. That is something you should pay attention to. And I was saying, I feel really sad for her because if you look at their family history, the things that I've been going at, it's not her personally. It's the family, the men in the family right there. And Justin's actually perfect for that family, on the side of a Baldwin, because they're very anti-women. They're openly saying that they bully women. They had domestic violence in the background, overly religious to the point of nausea, and then just a lot of things in it, right? Like there's just a lot of things, and as a female being around that, it's really toxic, and these men are just all toxic. And then she's kind of taught to suffer it, to not necessarily, well, she could be taught to enable it, mostly from that other Baldwin, but the environment makes her have to deal with it. And then so she's going to be more likely to deal with the Justin. I'm not going to deal with the Justin. Justin's going to get the big boot out my freaking door. But yeah, so that's probably going on. And it's not like she needs him. She's not with him for money. She's not with him for any of those things. And now she has an addition now, with whatever this business deal was, that you get rid of. I mean, you can do whatever for your own sake. What they're gonna try to do, I'm sure, is like continually try to work it out. But I can't imagine the root part of this guy. I don't think you're ever gonna make it on Vogue. That's the shitty Justin he is. That's his true self. That's his true self, you guys. That's not a one-off. That's his true, dark, mean self. And it's going to keep popping up. And he's going to keep coming back. This is the manipulation. Jesus, I'm going to keep working on it raw bad. Yeah, but deep down, his real character is that. So, how long's that? I don't know. I mean, you don't hope the worst things in these things, but holy crap. I mean, the thing is, she'll be just fine without him. Like, she could stay in it and they could try to work it out. But I'm just saying, she would be just fine without him. Okay, and he needs to, as they're saying, grow up. Really scared something bad is going to happen to Justin. Yeah, we have these things with these men. But at the end of the day, it's not for us to take care of. It's not for you to take care of, even if you're his wife. It's for him to take his ass to a therapist's office. It is. I mean, that's just what it is. And she can't make him, and I'm sure she knows she can't. He's just going to keep going on like that. They further noted that Haley is very loyal to him and is not walking away. Yeah, see. Yeah, see, that's just how it is. The comments in here, there's only a couple. His wife deserves better. His kid sure as heck deserves better. Kind of getting tired of him. He's either whining about something or complaining about something. I know the dude is like totally rich. Does he have any real problems? I mean, honestly, it's not like it's not like he's suffering from cancer and he's going, you know what I mean? Like, unless we don't know something. But I mean, he doesn't have anything. He's just online doing this. I'm like, I wouldn't have spent my time like that. I don't know. Like right now, our lives are completely different. So different perspectives are going on here, but no, hell no. 31? At 31, I was busting my ass off in the music industry. I was chronically working. Chronically. I didn't even have time to know what's even going on in the media. And it's so weird now as I'm older, like I'm going back through things. I'm like, how weird. I didn't even know that happened. Yeah, it's really strange because I was so ultra, overly. And the reason for that, obviously, I think is from trauma. Like if you overwork and you burn yourself out because you're such a hard worker. And some of these celebrities don't think that other people are because they're not famous. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's what happened. And so you're overly working. So you don't think about anything else. And you have to step back and pull the reins back. But also, men were abusing us and working us to death without paying us because they're human traffickers. But that thing right there, yeah, no, that was really bad. And I was like, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to work with another person again. I'm going to do my own work, whatever it takes, even if I suffer through it, whatever. I'm never going to have somebody have that much control over me again. And, and I'm a very hard worker, but if other people make sure that I can't work because they don't have any concept of having and running their own business, they'll F up your life. And so then, okay, you have to assess the situation. If people are in your way, then you need to try to figure out how to maneuver out of that and get rid of them. Or you leave the situation so you can continue on in your path. And so other people have blocked us in our path. That's not a thing saying God saying I deserved it. Justin could sit on my middle finger. Like, honest to God, that comment is such an effery. He's an idiot. But anyway, it says, grow up. You have more than most people your age will ever have. Either get some help or quit faking that you need some for attention. Yes, it's the little boy, right? It's not like it is like the whiny child. It's like, my wife got famous. I'm going to try to steal the spotlight from her right now and be a psychotic. Yeah, it's just crazy, right? He's not lifting her up, really. He's like dragging her down and she has nothing. Honestly, she hasn't said anything. It's him doing it. He's taking her down. He's pulling her down. And I'm just like, tell her to shut up if she's going on like that. But she's not the one that said it, right? She's not the one that said it. The media has done this too with other people. Like, they'll take something and then they bring it into the public and then you just absolutely hate them. And it's like, they didn't even do it, right? And it's like, you got to kind of like step back sometimes with this stuff because it's such a manipulation. And it's like, yeah, Justin's a manipulator. He's going to have you hating the woman because he wants all the attention. He's going to keep doing something crazy because he wants the attention over her. He needs to feel this. He needs to feel that. He can't sit there in the background how he demands other women to be for him to hold her up. He's too small. He can't hold up any woman.